Are you getting audio? I haven't. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me know when you're
Good morning, Vietnam.
all right. Now, which mic are we on right now? We're on the RE.
This one.
On the 58. You want me to move that 20 down out of the way out of the view? Keep it a little neater looking. I'm all into aesthetics. I'm sorry.
Tripping hazards and stuff like
Tripping hazards. We got plenty of those here. That's a fun part. Yeah. You walk around much? You stay pretty static.
that. Because of what I'm going to do today, I have no choice but stay right here.
Okay.
Normally.
Make the camera work easier since we don't have a cameraman. So there will be. Oh, there will be. Oh, okay.
Mellifluous tone.
Hello.
Does that good?
Hello.
Try to use fancy language. I'm good. Are you switching this puppy too?
For right now, I guess I am. Yeah. I think I'm doing both.
2 minutes.
There's no audio.
And you guys don't have a mic set up for questions? Well, these are just.
Yeah, no, we will. Yeah, we will. This is the question. Do you want to set? Let me just make sure.
They just need to move closer. I can repeat questions though.
This is mic 2. Okay, well, I'll give this to Mary so she'll have it to introduce you. And then Mary can. Okay, it's hot now. And I wouldn't hurt to test it if it could.
Testing. I'm not. Let's see. The red fox jumped over the blue moon. This says mic 2. Let's see. Mic on me. Okay, that's.
Well, thank you.
I've seen it right.
Yeah, I'm just not seeing much there. So yeah, we are.
Okay, but we're not coming out of the room speakers though. Oh, so when you.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
No, I don't either. Let's see. Are these even on? I don't know if Ben turned them on. No. Whoops, I don't see power. There we go. Okay.
Testing. Yes.
Good morning.
Testing. And yeah.
Were you required to have a voice transplant somewhere?
Let me throw my military voice on.
And when there are questions, you can take them.
Room team.
Okay.
After them.
Okay.
After the live stream.
Okay, that's great. So, do you want to allow questions?
No, they can ask questions. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Sure. Oh, lovely. Hello, everybody. Good morning. I think we're going to begin the next session. This is a half-hour session with Stan Skarbut. I'd like to introduce him to you. He teaches at the University of Wyoming in the Extension Unit, Instructional Technology. And I've heard he has this great class, Teaching with Technology, which takes place in the spring. Is that correct? Or
When they let me teach it.
when they let you teach it. Okay. So I'm going to let Stan begin. And if you have questions, though, please raise your hand and I'll bring the mic to you because we're streaming live. Okay. Thank you.
Hey, good morning. I'm Stan, and this presentation we're doing today is on a program called Canva. And the reason I want to introduce this is because I believe that the integration of imagery into our instruction is absolutely essential. Took a class once upon a time at the University of Wyoming that kind of drove this home, and it was on visual literacy. And one of the books from that class, one of the points that they emphasized was if you can reduce the, we have PowerPoints that we use all the time, and we have just all these words on there. And if you can reduce the amount of words and substitute imagery into it, you can drive up learning 400%. So I thought that was, pretty significant. But in addition, if you actually want people to see your materials that you're putting out on social media, for example, that you can increase that by including imagery or video into those presentations. So everything that I'm putting out on my blog, I try to push an image with it. And one of the things that the graphic designers around me pointed out early in my working career is I have no artistic capability at all, right? They don't allow me to play with colors. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler. I have no skills. So, but I was absolutely thrilled when I came upon this program called Canva, because even for someone as inept as I am putting together graphics, this has made it quite nice and quite useful. And I've been increasingly playing with this. So Canva is mostly free. And I say mostly because everything you can do on Canva, you can actually do for free if you also maybe provided your own imagery. But if you use some of the images that they have, it'll cost you $1 per image. And that's kind of important to point out, that you can actually go spend a lot of money on a nice graphic, but you can actually do this all for free. So let me kind of show you this program. So it's at canva.com, canva.com, and you'll be asked to create an account. You can do it with your Facebook account, or in my case, I set up a separate account, and then we basically log into this. So one of the things Canva did smartly is it gives you options right away. So you can start a new design by choosing a variety of different options that they provide, and they will kind of guide you through this. So if you're looking to create a podcast cover, it will do that for you. Or if you wanted a Facebook cover to kind of spruce up your Facebook, it gives you the right dimensions that you already need to start out with. So you don't have to go look for those dimensions. It's already provided it for you. A Facebook post. And a little energy here. Where to go? Facebook post. So I'm going to select Facebook post. And we're at the whim of. So we have this blank area. This is basically our palette that we can start working in. You can select from a number of great choices here to get you started. And basically what you're looking at is a design that you want to start with. You know, maybe I like how this is laid out for wine testing, or the Australian outback. I like how that is. That saves me a lot of energy in deciding, you know, how I want to lay this out, because they've already had designers go lay it out, and all I have to do is go start changing things. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this one with the Australian outback. And I select that, and it will go ahead and put all the elements that I want right on the screen. And I can go ahead and start changing the text by selecting those different elements of the text, highlight it. So welcome. We'll throw a 2 in there. And I can go ahead and make those changes as I want. Come on. That's better. So in here, you can also, if you wanted to change the font, you have a number of wonderful fonts that you can change. So you highlight it, pick a font that you like. You can change the size of that particular font. You can change the color and, you know, pick from the normal thing. The normal things that you would do with a graphic program that you can do. But the nice piece of this is this is kind of jump-started the whole process. But perhaps I didn't necessarily want, you know, the Australian cowboys there, right? I mean, this is Wyoming. We have to get the, you know, cowboys from this area. So I can go ahead and do a search on the word cowboys, and it'll bring up a number of graphics. Did I hit search? There we go. And so I can start selecting, you know, different graphics that I want to use in this image that may be appropriate. Some may not be appropriate, but all right. So say I want this one in there, and I can go ahead and send it to the back. And let me get rid of the Australian one. And I can stretch this to be able to fit the whole slide, you know, as I find appropriate. And send it all the way to the back. I can crop this image if I wanted to. I can also change the transparency of it, or, you know, move it to a different place, wherever that'll work for me, and kind of stretch this around. So that's probably not the right shape for the graphic that I chose, but kind of gives you an idea. But I can go ahead and change the transparency on this. Come on, cooperate. And so you can start layering graphics on top of things, and you know, get the transparency the way that you want it. In here, there's also images that already have a transparent background. For example, this guy, you know, that I can overlay this. It's got a transparent background, so I can have that particular graphic lay on something else. Yes. Yeah. So these graphics, and that's a great question. Being able to, you know, for some of these graphics, they'll tell you how much that particular graphic costs, and that's their money making scheme. But I can also upload my own graphics, so I don't have to pay that dollar for that particular graphic. So yeah, good question. And that's what I mentioned. You have the ability to do everything free, but if you're going to use some of these graphics, and some of them are free, as you're going through here. So I think, at the top they had some cowboy hats, for example. And so they're indicating that those graphics are free. So that helps out identifying those particular graphics. This is a one-time use, right? So when I was setting up graphics, advertising on social media for this conference, for example, I set something up for Twitter. I set it up for Facebook. I did reuse the Facebook one on Google+. But if you're going to go out and make any changes or take a different style, then you would have to pay for it again. So once you download it, yeah, you'll pay for it again. So, but once again, if one of the ways to get around that is go out and take good images, go out and collect your own images and put them up there, and think about imagery when you're going out and selecting that. When you get done with this particular graphic, and this is, let me go back to that original layout. When you've gone ahead and made changes to this particular graphic, then you can go ahead and download that image, or you can link that image. So anyone that has that, you can allow them to edit it. So maybe you've started on this image, but you want to have somebody else go in and finalize it. You have that ability to do that. You can push it down as a PDF. I have primarily pushed it down as an image. So by selecting image, it'll go ahead and render that particular image. And download my design. All right, so actually I downloaded it twice. So it came down, comes down pretty automatic, and then you can go ahead and share that image with someone else. Yes, ma'am. With the account, yeah, that's part of the process. So you basically, I put. No. So what I do is basically put $10 on there. So I say, okay, I have $10. When I've run through $10 worth of images, it'll ask me if I want to put another $10 on there. So, so I have to make those decisions all the time. It doesn't just go out and, start billing you. So someone gets your account and goes, hey, let me just create a slew of images. Yeah. So that's part of your account that you would put that up there. But once again, you can put $1 on there and then use free images all you want, and that dollar never goes anywhere. So, and there are a number of free images. The power of this really is that there's just a lot of nice designs that they've already created, which saves you a lot of the thought process. All you have to do is, push a new image in, change the text a little bit to get what you want, and you'll have something that's attractive that will serve your purposes, as opposed to starting from scratch and what do I need to put in this thing? And, that's kind of where the real power to this thing is. And so, yeah, here's, pull this graphic up. And so there's, there's a graphic that we created. We can, easily, throw it into Twitter, throw it into Facebook, wherever that I happen to be using it as part of a blog to see that it works.
So did that cost you $1?
That cost me $1.
Okay, so you actually put that up there 2 different times. Was that $2?
No, it was $1. So it was.
And the guy that you put on there?
I didn't know. Well, it would have been, but I didn't include that as part of that.
Open it and look at it and manipulate it, but you're not charged until.
You are not charged until you download that. Until you download it so you can use it, you are not charged to use that.
So that's maybe a couple of weeks of concern. I just set an account. As long as I'm using my own picture, I don't never have to be charged anything.
Correct. Yep. And so what it'll do is it'll also keep a library for you, and it counts left for your friends. Once again, an opportunity to make friends. So here are some of the images that I've been playing with as we've ramped up for e-Volution, and I use the same background. So this image, this was for Facebook and Google Plus. This one was for Twitter. Having an image in Twitter, and a lot of folks don't realize that you can put that image into Twitter and use those. But I created those two images, so it was $1 a piece. This set was another set of $1 a piece, and so I had some variety in what I was doing. So it cost me probably about $10 in total, through my advertising campaign on social media as I was pursuing that. So, but some of these other images, saving time and energy with auto text. I have understanding Google Scholar, digital communication in the 21st century. Those were supporting some blog posts that I put together. So, I just went through kind of the extra effort to make sure I had a good graphic for my blog post and use those, just basically created it. And, in watching my traffic in my blog posts, I've gone out, I've seen that it's actually helped get some more traffic to my site. So for me, it's been beneficial. Yes, ma'am. Well, one, the way I created this, so if I was to use this again, if I was to download it again, yes, it would cost me. Once I have it on my computer, it's mine, and I can use it multiple times. And the reason it costs me additional for these particular these graphics is because I changed the background image for it. And that's why it cost me. So every different background image that cost $1, that's what it cost me. But now they're very much generic. I didn't put a timestamp on them, and I can use these again. So probably next year, we'll have a different tag. Instead of digital communication in the 21st century, we'll probably have something else. So if I was to do this again, I would have to make those adjustments, or to get away from that is I'd create my own, go to PowerPoint or have one of the graphic designers create a background I liked and use that for free. So, but I'd have basically the layout, so I can go to this particular graphic and pull that particular graphic up, make my modifications to it, and then use it again. So if I didn't want to use this particular background, I could go in and look up a similar style. Maybe I wanted, I'll use this one. Not too light. Spend more money. All right, send it to the background. All right, stretch it out a little bit. So I have that. I can make some adjustments. Whoops, I didn't want that. I want this. Figure out how I want to lay it out a little bit. And then I can go ahead and download that graphic, right? So add some variety to what I'm doing and be able to get something new. But really, the big thing is the idea that your visuals are really important in learning. This is a convenient way of putting them together because you're also already benefiting from designers who have put together some nice designs, and all you're doing is maybe changing the image, changing the text there, but you're starting with a good design. And for me, that's been kind of a lifesaver, because before I'd have to go see my graphic designers all the time, and they have plenty of work. I keep them busy enough where I could take care of something I think is relatively simple in this. So just another tool. It's been useful to me. So, yes, ma'am. Yes. TweetDeck or Hootsuite, depending on what I'm doing, I use both of them. I have TweetDeck right here, so whoops, doesn't matter. And also, you can start out with a design that's already kind of prefabricated, or you can go ahead and start from scratch and start with an empty palette and start building your own. They do provide tests and samples. So if we're starting out with like a Facebook cover, and start out absolutely blank, I can look, start with a background. So right here, it's already given me different examples on what I can start with for a Facebook cover. But if I just wanted to, I'll go to my favorite, my bokeh stuff. I can find a graphic that I wanted to use, stretch that out a lot. And then start layering text on this. And also there's examples of adding this element, whoops, and using that element to put text in and working from those elements and start building my own. Or I can just start with just adding a text block and moving that text block to where I want it. Come on, why aren't you moving? There we go. So I can move that text block, add the text that I want, add different styles, change all the faces, and or upload something. So one of the designs I had is I went out and just created kind of a hand-drawn word cloud and stretched that across the graphic and added my text elements to that, talking about the different things that we would see during this conference. So that's a little bit about Canva. So
Okay, we still have 5 minutes left, so you have time for more questions.
see, it's that easy. We don't even need questions. So anyone else using Canva already? No? New tool? Okay.
Anyone like to tell stories?
You might mention that the e-Volution photo service is a great source of photos for these folks.
Oh, absolutely. So good point. University of Wyoming Photo Service is a place where you may have some images that you want to start out with, that you can access those from UW Photo Service. Where exactly that is, I'm not sure. I know it's available. Start with marketing and public relations, and they can point you to that resource. But that would be a great place to get a background image that you can add something else to. extended break. Hydrate.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all very much for
So-
coming.